Hey everybody, it's me, the Myan, and let me welcome you guys back to Pikmin 2. In the last episode, we started off the game by well, not really crash landing, but losing Louie in the Valley of Repose. Managed to find him, found a Duracell battery, collected it, and we also found the red Pikmin in this area. In this episode, we're going back into the Valley of Repose, and we're going to see what changed within a day's time. Now that we're out of the tutorial, there's a crafting things we can do. But since it's only the second day, there's only like one thing aside from that we can actually do. But you know, we'll do it soon enough. Oh, it's my favorite robot voice I like to do. Good morning, workers. Ready for another day of toiling for the profit of your company? The Pikmin seem to still be asleep inside their onion. What lazy creatures. No wonder they lack survival skills. Stand beneath the onion and call them out. Okay, thank you, ship, for telling me that. Alright, and we get to listen to this awesome song again. Alright, so let's start off today by, if you remember from last episode, we need 35 red Pikmin to be able to bring that bag down. Let's skip Louie right now. Or actually, here, no. Almor's gonna stay here. And then Louie is going to stay over, or gonna come over here and start taking this down. Because like, oh, look, it's another red dwarf bull bear. Because we need to start breaking this down. We need to bring the bag down, is what I need to say. I can't speak. You feel like after years of, you know, trying to speak English, or after years of knowing how to speak English, I'd be able to, like, actually communicate correctly, but apparently I can't sometimes. Let's go over here and see if we can't find, or if there aren't any, pellets over here. And there are. I think the ones that we took down yesterday are back too. Yep. I think if I remember too, we actually need all of these to be able to bring down the bag down, because... Alright, come on, Pikmin. Because I think with this one we'll get, actually no. Because that'll give us 6, this will give us 6, that's 12, that's 36. So these are just extra, but I mean, come on. Who doesn't want extra Pikmin? Here, let's put 2 on this one. Let's put 2 on this one, and 2 on that one. That way they get back to base a little bit faster. That Pikmin, there we go, Pikmin. I was about to say, what's going on, buddy? Let's go to Olimar. And let's start plucking this. Oh, yeah, and like in the same game, if you repeatedly just press A to pluck the Pikmin, he goes from one to the other one, and without you having to like manually do it. There sadly isn't any grass anywhere for the Pikmin to get some nectar. I really wish there would be, because I would prefer that to having to leave Pikmin throughout this entire game, because oh boy. They might be the base form, but I prefer flower Pikmin so much better because they're just faster. They keep up. They don't straggle behind. Where's Olimar? There you are, Olimar. Oh, ooh, look at this. Another 5. There we go. And then they'll carry that over here. Oh, perfect. And then we'll have like what? 50? Maybe? 2, 4, no, that's 10. We'll have 48 reds. Or I could lie and we have 47. Here, let's just get Louie and Olimar to start plucking. And then we'll take we'll weigh down that that paper bag over here. We still have most of our day. We've only wasted about 3 little spheres. Alright, come on you guys. And let's chuck our reds on here. All 35 of them. There we go, 35. And then carefully, let's chuck our red Pikmin on top of... Oh. We can't because of the little slope. There we go. Let's drop our reds on top of that dude so that that he dies. Since they're bringing that back, let's see if we can't kill him by swarming like we used to. No, we can't. No, we can't. Come back, come back, come back. Oh, God. There goes my first Pikmin death. There we go. Only lost one. We're good. I don't think I've ever lost a Pikmin to that dude before. I think that's the first time I've ever done it. Or lost one. It's okay. There's always a first for everything. And here's another treasure for us. Oh, God. It takes 35. Okay. Well, while we wait for all these Pikmin to bring those carcasses back, let's start working on this wall, because it's the only other way we can really go. Let's leave Olimar right there, and I'll bring Louie over here so that we can get some more, or we can start plucking them. Start plucking the red Pikmin. So I think we're gonna get at 6. That'll give us about. I actually don't know how many the red Bulborb give us. I think it's 9 or 8 Pikmin. It could be 6. I really don't know, actually. It's a weight of 10, so I'd assume it gives us 10. But I'm not too sure. I also need these Pikmin because then we need to go back to that part. And like I said, we're still waiting for the red Pikmin to break down this wall. Louie. Let's see. And then let's get these reds to quickly get this back onto the ship. At least I only lost one. It could have gone, like, worse. I could have lost, like, 6 reds in that beginning part. Or that 5 with the Bulborb, and that could have gone bad. Thankfully, like I said, I only lost one. And thankfully, I didn't just randomly lose any Pikmin, like in Pikmin 1, to the void. Freaking game. And here I thought I was starting to go crazy, and I wasn't. It was the game glitching up. Like I said, I looked it up online. Apparently, it's like a super rare. It's like somewhat rare for it to happen, and yet it happened to me multiple days. I don't know how I feel about that. It just describes my luck. And the reason it happens is because apparently, at some point in Pikmin 1's development, that's what was supposed to happen. If like, I guess realistically, if a Pikmin was under a carcass when it like died and fell over, the Pikmin would just die. But I guess they took that out for reasons, you know. How could Pikmin destroy such a massive wall when their might is ferocious? Louie, did Olimar instruct you on proper Pikmin controlling protocol? Apparently not. Olimar, you are failing in your duty as a superior. Allow me to explain. And you don't have to explain to me, buddy. I know how to, I know how to do this. I'm sort of like a veteran, you know? Alright, so while they're getting that part, let's get Olimar over here. And if you look over here, there's something right there. And if you come over here, we can't go any further because there's water and there's a gate. And as you know, from Pikmin 1, we need blue Pikmin, the only Pikmin that can survive in water, to help us break that down. We could come up here and like fall down this ledge to get back to the ship. There's no reason to. I mean, I guess, yeah. I guess Louie can come over here and wait by this hole. Let me show you guys what this hole is, because this is like the main gimmick of Pikmin 2. Interesting. Warm air is welling up from the hole in the ground before you. What could lie underground? What is wrong? You both show expressions of unease. Do not fear. The leader's group of Pikmin will join you. I shall dispatch my research pod to approach the hole and press A to jump in. And we'll do that in just a second. Ship. Alright. But yeah, we'll go down there once the Pikmin get that crushed up can into the ship, and that way we'll just get all 6 of our Pikmin to go. We could have had 70. Dang. I am mad now. You can also use this little ledge over here to go back over that way. But like I said, we need to go inside that hole because there's no other way we can go. This area is kind of blocked off by water. And like I said, I'm still really mad that there's no, like, nectar anywhere. Because this could have gone so much better, or so much faster, I mean. Alright, so what is this going to be called? But again, what is it? Hey, that looks like a mouth. like a catfish mouth. Utter scrap. 170 gold. What is this? It's like apple juice? 250 milliliters. I actually don't know what this is. Maybe it is apple juice. Sure. I'll assume it's apple juice. Anyway, come on, Pikmin. Let's go meet up with Louie. And we'll be good. We'll continue into that hole. And I think I called it a gimmick, but it's really not a gimmick. It's the main, like, feature of Pikmin 2. It's what makes Pikmin 2, like, 2 times larger than the original Pikmin game. And you'll see in just a second. Alright, let's jump in. Emergence Cave. Enter this hole with your Pikmin squad. We haven't collected any treasures in here, and there's 69 Pikmin out of 69 Pikmin entering. Intriguing. My heat sensors indicate that this holes in here is warmer than on the surface. Analysis suggests danger lies ahead, but the promise of treasure is tantalizing. If you wish to check underground terrain, press plus to communicate with me. I almost said star. I am not just a ship. I am an all-purpose support pod. Welcome to Pikmin 2's main selling point. In this game, instead of just being above ground and collecting treasure, because that would be boring, that'd be a repeat of Pikmin 1. In this game, you can collect treasure above ground, and there's essentially like dungeons that you can go into with your Pikmin to collect treasure. There's going to be enemies, there can be treasure, there can be a lot of stuff. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to chuck our reds on top of these fools and have them die. There we go. And died they have. Let's kill you. We have an orange right here. How is it not rotted? I feel like if it's like in a very moist environment, it'd be like moldy. But it's whatever. I can't apply real life to a game. It's a 7-Up bottle cap. Quenching emblem. Worth 100 Pocos. Here, let's get these reds to go with that. Oh wow. Oh, I was gonna say what? Zerk. How can you possibly consider this beast a treasure? Beasts are incompatible with my circuitry. I suppose I will store your finds in my hold. But I do not think beasts will be worth much. What? I feel like in the real world, if you freaking get a beast from an alien planet and you try to sell it, I'm 100% sure people would, like, buy that crap, you know? So because the onions aren't underground, any enemies you kill here in the dungeons go back to the ship and they just are worth like very little gold. So if we're gonna be honest, unless like you really want to finish the game like just collecting beasts instead of the treasure, you can just leave the enemies laying on the ground. It doesn't really matter. And we just got the citrus lump. It's worth 180. And that noise you just heard in the background, at least for the beginning part of Pikmin, indicates that there's no more treasure on this floor. There's always a certain amount of treasure within each floor, and once you hear like that ding at the end of it, you know like, oh okay, if there's no more treasure, I can leave. This hole appears to be quite deep. My sensors indicate more treacherous terrain ahead. Louie, you do recall that you can adjust the camera with Z and up and left and right on the D-pad, correct? Your expression suggests you do. Excellent. Don't worry, all your Pikmin will follow you, and yeah, come on. Yeah, if you continue through a hole, all your Pikmin are gonna follow you. You can leave them like disbanded somewhere, they're still gonna come with you. They thought of everything when they designed the cave mechanic in this game. I think the first dungeon is always the same for any Pikmin playthrough. But from here on out, once you go into new caves, as far as I remember, enemy placement can be different. Oh, also this, when you get to the final floor, it tells you you're on the final floor. Enemy placement can be different on different caves. Item placement can be different. It's like randomly generated somewhat. So just take note of that. The playthrough that I go through can be completely different from the playthrough that you go through, just because the items and the enemies can be like mishmashed anywhere. Alright, come on. Oh look, it's a globe of the planet. Shiny. Also, if you can tell from the beginning, from the first episode in the cinematic, yes, the Pikmin planet is in fact the our own planet, planet Earth. It's inconceivable that such an immense object has been buried here for so long. The design of the outer shell resembles the surface of the planets as seen from space. Perhaps this can be used for something other than salvage. But how will we ever lift it? I fear that even 100 red Pikmin will be unable to lift it. Yes, if you remember from Pikmin 1, also yeah, he wasn't kidding. Even if we had 100 Pikmin, we're not going to be able to lift this thing up. We need 101 Pikmin, which technically is impossible. But anyway, yeah, if you remember from Pikmin 1, remember the Geiger counter? I was right about saying that the Geiger counter is used to read radiation. And if you remember, Olimar kept saying, oh, the Geiger counter, like, keeps going on and off, you know? It keeps making a lot of noise. I wonder why it won't stop. The reason it wasn't stopping is because we're assuming that, before Olimar got here, or by the time Olimar gets to planet Earth, it's assumed that this is, like, post-apocalyptic, because there's a lot of radiation, there's no humans, but as we can see so far, there's like different items from like our world, so it's assumed that this is a post-apocalyptic world where humans like killed each other off using like nuclear weapons, and that's why the Geiger counter is going crazy, because, you know, there's radiation everywhere. It hasn't like gone away yet. There's like deep lore here in Pikmin 2, in the Pikmin series, if we're gonna be honest. Here, well no, let's just bring all the Pikmin. We need to go forward anyway. We can't pick that up yet. So yeah, it's deep lore, like no lie. There's only one way we can go. Like I said, this first cave is always the same for everybody. There's nothing that different. Also, what's this? Ooh, it's a purple flower. I wonder what it does. Astounding! A flower blooms in a cave deep beneath the snowy landscape. Clearly, it is warmer down here than above. Look, the Pikmin are restless. They look as if they yearn to be tossed into the flower. If you remember from Pikmin 1, this is a candy pop bud, which means that whatever Pikmin type we throw into it, it'll come out as the color of the flower. So, oh boy, that means we're gonna get some purple Pikmin. I wonder what they look like, though. Guess we'll find out in just a second. Look at this absolute unit right here. Dang. Amazing, a purple Pikmin. It has hair and is quite stocky. It seems very heavy and strong. This kind of Pikmin was not mentioned in your report, Olimar. It must be an entirely new type. Transforming Pikmin by tossing them into flowers? Intriguing. Perhaps there are others? I don't know. Are there others? So let's go ahead and pluck them. I guess I'll show it when we go back to that globe. Purple Pikmin? Aside from a comment about them being absolute units, I'm in awe and amazement of him. Oh, I'm full of jokes, aren't I? Purple Pikmin, as you saw when they like jump, when you throw them, they make a giant thud. If you throw a purple Pikmin onto an enemy and they don't land, and they land like right next to them, the thud causes them to get stunned for a little bit. And I'll show that off later. I'm just telling you right now. Another cool thing that the purple Pikmin do is if I throw them like right here. Purple Pikmin, one purple Pikmin is equal to 10 regular Pikmin. So, not only are purple Pikmin like vital to this game, purple Pikmin can very easily carry like a carcass of an enemy like just by themselves. However, even though they're super strong and they can carry like just this thing by itself, they're very slow. If you leave one purple Pikmin to leave like to try to carry something to the ship or an onion. Oh wait, I need to explain that about the onion too later, because as you saw, purple Pikmin only come out of flowers. So what happens if they carry a carcass? I'll explain that later. But yeah, even though they can carry like a lot of weight, they still move really, really slowly. So that's their like one downside. But really, there's only upsides to purple Pikmin. They're honestly super broken in Pikmin 2, to the point where they fixed them in Pikmin 3. So if you have purple Pikmin like carrying super heavy things, you can get other Pikmin to help them to carry it faster. Because if not, we'd be here forever. But yeah. Yeah, but welcome to Planet Earth, our post-apocalyptic planet Earth, where enemies eat plant-animal hybrids. Oh god. Oh god, it's 200. Spherical Atlas, and it's the is this, I guess, do we call this the Northern Hemisphere? The top half of our world? I don't know what it's called. There is a device resembling a microchip embedded inside the sphere. Retrieving data. Error. I can only decode a portion of the data, but I did retrieve new geographical charts. I will input this data into my planetary database and name it the sphere chart. Press. Yeah. Now that we have this new data, we should explore the decoded territory tomorrow. And like I said earlier, there's that cool little noise that tells us that, well, that was all of the parts in this area. So now that we have all the parts, also remember how I said purple Pikmin were super slow? Yeah, they're even as like in their leaf form, they're slower than the red Pikmin, which, if we're gonna be honest, are like de facto like normal Pikmin. But yeah, they're super slow. So if you have a giant group of them, just make sure you have all of them and you don't leave any behind, or like they get stuck anywhere. But anyway, since we're done with all the parts here, there's this right here. It's called a geyser. It's kind of a bigger geyser than the ones we had in the Pikmin 1. Astounding! Water is shooting out of this geyser with incredible force. Sensors indicate it has enough power to launch you into the air. Approach it and press A to try. Look at that. So, if the holes in the ground are our way to get into the cave, geysers indicate that this is how we leave the cave. It's kind of like just like if you're going to go down into a hole, no matter where your Pikmin are at, if they're idle, if they're somewhere, if you go into the geyser, they all escape with you. And we got 3 treasures, and got $22 worth of enemies. And the cave is complete. And once you complete a cave, there's a little flag that appears on the, I guess, the symbol. And that way you like, oh, I don't remember if I cleared that cave. Well, you can check on your map, and you'll see that you did. Also, were those 2 candy pop buds there before? I mean, not the candy pop buds, but the things. I don't remember seeing them there. If they were there, then I feel cheated, because that means I lost on 4 Pikmin. You have successfully returned to the planet's surface. Excellent decision making, gentlemen. We must celebrate your first successful spelunking expedition. You've gathered a large amount of data that needs in-depth analysis. I shall send a report back to the president tonight detailing your progress. Olimar and Louis since you will explore a new area tomorrow, today's work is done. What? You still want to work? Unacceptable. You may not realize it, but you are exhausted. You should take a much needed rest, as you have all the time you need to collect treasure. Haste makes waste, so take it slow and steady. And the day just ends because we apparently can't, you know, just end the day by ourselves or whatever time we had remaining. I'm still mad about those two flowers still being there. I swear that they were not there. Also, if you didn't notice, because the purple Pikmin don't have an onion, they actually go into the exhaust port of the ship, which is really funny. That's where they sleep at night. Today's report. We collected 4 ship parts, got 672 things, and we're almost to 1,000 Pokos. Pikmin went up, red Pikmin went up by 59, and purple Pikmin went up to 10. However, we did lose 1 to that freaking Bulborb, but it's whatever. Baby steps, Olimar. Plan well and don't worry about me. Our debt is with Happy Hawkatite Savings and Loans, after all. Besides, there's nothing left to repossess, so ha! Oh god, President, you're a sick individual. I'm actually really happy this game doesn't have a time limit, because if not, it would be a stress-inducing as Pikmin 1. And with the collecting of the Atlas Sphere, we can now go into the new area called the Awakening Woods, which is one of my favorite areas in this game. It also has good music, like all of the Pikmin games do. But we'll do that next time. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Pikmin. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys join me next time as we go into the Awakening Woods to find out what we can do. I'll see you guys then. Bye.